Hey everyone, my name is Amy Smith and I want to share with you today a quick tutorial about how to make a brush preset in Lightroom. I know there's a lot of times when I am doing various editing, when I'm in a particular genre. I do a lot of food photography. So I know in a lot of my work, the main subject, I try to get it as close as possible in camera to what I want it to be. But then obviously in editing, we want to make things pop. We want to make things special. You know, really want to enhance what we did and what we're showing that we took in camera. Be that food photography, be that landscape. We want to jazz up the sky a little bit, bring some texture and clarity into the foliage. The water, we may have some water that we want to enhance the texture, the trees, the whatever. We may be a portrait photographer and we want to smooth some of the people's skin, or we want to sharpen their eyes, or we want to, warm up their skin, or we want to cool down their skin, or rosy up their lips, or whatever. And you can make a brush preset to allow you to do that with just grabbing a brush and applying that. Because sometimes it's very hard to sync a brush across photos because things move. People are in different positions. And then it's off and you have to adjust that anyway. So if you have a preset of a brush, you can just apply that simply in the photos. And then you don't have to remember so that it's consistent across the board because you don't necessarily want to sync it, but you can have those same settings easily applied instead of having to remember photo to photo or writing it down, the numbers of the sliders so that you can apply it to each photo, which I've done before and it's tedious and drives me crazy. And this is the only way to go. So long ago, I did that and finally, work smarter, not harder, right? So anyway, what I want to show you today is how I do that. And here I am, I'm going to be in Lightroom and I'm going to show you how I do that preset. I am going to be using food photography photos so that I can show you how I boost. What I'm going to do is basically some texture, some clarity, some contrast, maybe a little teeny bit of color pop with saturation. I think, it's not going to be crazy because you can tweak it photo to photo. I want it to be something that blanket covers most everything, and then I can tweak it if I need more or less depending on the photo. So let's get started with that. Let me get myself out of the middle of the picture here. And I here, as you see, have a bowl of chicken chili. I really want to enhance this main hero shot right here and really jazz this up. I want to bring out the texture. I want to bring out some depth. I really want to make this look like I've got to go make chili right now because this looks so amazing. As you see, it's really nicely in focus. Everything looks really good. This is straight out of camera, although I did straighten it ever so slightly and adjust the white balance just a little bit. I shot this with artificial light. And like I said, I just pretty much all this needs is I really want to make this pop here in the main part of the visual. So what I'm going to do and what we're going to be doing here is creating a brush preset that I can use then on a few other photos, which I have some blueberry lemon scones and some no churn cherry chocolate chip ice cream. So we're going to do that. We're going to start on the chicken chili. So what I'm going to do first is go over here to the brush in the develop module to this masking little icon, this little circle that pulls up all the different options we have for masking. So I'm going to hit brush, and that's going to allow me to make adjustments and create this brush. So like I said, what I want to do is I think I'm going to increase my texture a few notches. I'm going to add a little bit of clarity. maybe a bump or two of dehaze, maybe a bump or two of saturation, maybe a bump or two, a little bit. We don't want to go crazy, right? We want to keep it as natural, but as enhanced. We don't want to overdo, right? And I might bump up the shadows just a little bit. Some of those little nooks and crannies in here are a little dark, especially on the lip of the bowl here, and maybe a little over here getting hidden on this side of the bowl. It's opposite the light source. So yeah, I think we'll start with that and see what we got. So let's brush that on to the where we want it, to the main subject. Brush, brush, brush. And I'm going to brush a little over here. I may up those shadows just a bit more. That gives this over here a nice little boost. Maybe right in here on this side of the line. And up there on that. Okay, I bumped the clarity up just a little bit more, but that tends to darken it a little bit. So I am going to bump those shadows just a bit more. We don't want to get any highlight little blinkies up here, so we're good up on our highlight and whites on the histogram. So let's see what we got here and if we can tell a difference. Definitely. So that really kind of made it pop, made it sing a little bit. And so I like how that looks. And those were minimal adjustments. And I think that could be applicable to lots of food photography photos that I have across the board. So what I'm going to do to save this, I want to save this brush, right? And that's the whole point. We want to make a preset. So what I'm going to do is right here, we're still in the brush mode. We still could make adjustments if we want to. Although, you know what I didn't do at all? I want to bump that contrast just a little bit. That darkens it a hair, but I think we're still good. I like what that looks like. So we're still, like I said, in the brush mode here. We're on that panel that we can make adjustments to the brush. I'm going to click on where it says custom right here. There's some up and down arrows. I have a whole bunch of brushes. So I'm going to go way down to the bottom. And down here, there's an option, save current settings as new preset. I'm going to click on that. And I can name it. I'm going to say food, texture, clarity. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. / contrast boost. So that's what it's going to be. I'm going to create that. And now I have in my listing of all my brushes a food texture, clarity, contrast boost. So there it is. And I think I'm done with that photo. So I'm going to then pull up, let's check out our lemon blueberry scones. Now this, I would do more to this photo, obviously. I want to boost some of the vibrance. We need some color coming back in here a little bit. So I'm going to adjust those just for fun right now globally. I'm going to adjust the shadows just a little bit globally. So now, okay, I'm ready to make this scone right here. #1 beautiful scone. So I'm going to click on my masking icon and I'm going to click on brush because I want a brush. But I am not going to create a new brush. Actually, this popped right up because it was still in queue. I went down, I clicked on my food texture, clarity, contrast boost. Here are all the settings that we previously put in, and I'm going to brush it all over that beautiful scone. And I think some over here, we're going to boost a little bit of those shadows and bring a little bit more oomph right in there, and maybe a hair bit right here. So let's take a look and see. We went from that to that. Let's see, that was here. There we go. those other adjustments were global. So let's do exactly what the brush did. This was before, and that's after. You see these little shadows over here really got boosted a bit, and we have some more clarity and texture in our main subject right here. So there you have that. And one more. Let's check out this ice cream. Again, this needs a little bit of some help, in my opinion, globally. We'll do that real quick. We're going to boost the vibrance just a bit, a little bit of saturation. We're going to raise some shadows and brighten this up a bit. We are clipping over here on the highlight, so I'm going to bring those down a hair bit, and the whites, just so we're not clipping anymore. And I think I like that. So now let's grab that brush that we created. So we're going to again click on the masking icon, click on brush. Again, it's been in queue because we've used it a few times, but we're just going to click on these arrows right here to find it where it would say custom, and then find food texture clarity contrast boost. We got it. And now we are going to go on the main subject. I think I'm going to go pretty much over everything that really boosted those cherries, brought out some, really boosting these shadows, which is nice because it brings much more attention to what we're showing here. I think on this one, I think it needs a little more contrast. So we can tweak it a little bit individually. So on this particular photo, I'm going to boost that contrast just a little more. And that really enhances those chocolate shavings. I like that a lot. I might even boost the dehaze just a hair. And again, that really makes that definition of the chocolate pop a little more. So there you have it, guys. Again, when we were on when we were on the chili to create the preset, all we did was we went to the masking area here. We created a brush, and we'll just pretend we're doing it again. We created a brush, and then we made our adjustments. These were all originally at 0. And we made our adjustments, okay, to our photo. We then came down here to the cut where it says custom, and we go down, and in the options down here, you can now save current settings as a new preset. And like I said, I'm doing this for food photography and boosting my main subjects. You can create a tooth whitening one. You can create an eye sharpening one. You can create a smooth skin smoothing one. You can create, it's endless, a dehaze, clarity, texture for the skies in a landscape. Like I mentioned before, those are all things I mentioned. Those are things that you can do and apply to many, many photos. If whatever your niche is or whatever you shoot a lot of, you can have them for all kinds of different genres that you shoot. So I hope that's helpful, you guys. And it's so simple. And I hope it's something that you can utilize. If you didn't know about it already, many, I'm sure most, maybe many do already, but this is a really quick reference to be able to create that and have that across the board on many things, as opposed to syncing. When you sync brushes, it most of the time for me, it doesn't work out really well because the brush will be in a wrong spot, or which is then movable, but when it's specific to a small little area, or if you're doing people and you whiten someone's teeth in one photo, you want to whiten them in the next, and on the next photo it's on someone's face and their eye or something. It's, you know, it's not ideal. When you can just click on the brush and put it on specifically and paint it on exactly where you want each time, it's helpful. And I think that's more user-friendly than trying to move a brush on the next photo, if that all makes sense. So thanks for watching. tag me and so that I get the notification if you have any questions at all. I would love to clarify if you have any issues or questions or anything like that. So thanks again for watching and have a great day, guys.